What is up, everybody? Dishnet 34 here, welcoming you to tonight's episode of This Week in Perfect Team. How is it going, everybody? Whoo! What a week it has been in Perfect Team. The first week of league play. It has been exciting so far. Oh, man. Hopefully everybody's having a great week so far. Hopefully everybody's having a great day as well. Oh, man. I know I've had a good day as well. I mean, have you seen the weather out there? Oh, my goodness. It's so amazing. So amazing out there. Whose jersey am I wearing? I am wearing a 2012 Miguel Cabrera All-Star Game jersey right here. From the old Triple Crown season. Oh, man. Tag yourself, I'm the S in this. Good evening, everybody. This is going to be a good show tonight. This is going to be a great show tonight. Before we get going, we have a couple of pieces of business to take care of. Number one, Perfect Team 23 drops. We unfortunately do not have those ready yet. However, we are working as hard as we can to get those ready as soon as possible. We will keep you updated on when they will be coming, because they are coming. It's just been a little bit of a slow going here getting things going. So apologize again for not having them this week, but we are working on getting them ready as soon as possible. Another thing that we announced today, for those of you still playing Perfect Team 21, those sims are going to be ending here very, very soon. And that very soon date being Sunday, May 29th. That will be the final day of Perfect Team 21 sims. I know there's been a lot of people that still play Perfect Team 21, and that is awesome. And it's gonna be sad to see that go away, to be honest with you. But you know, we gotta move on sometimes. So unfortunately, you know, finally shutting down the servers on that. Oh man! So tonight we have kind of a little bit of something old and something new. This is Build a Lineup. This is going to be our first big program of the year for Perfect Team 23. Kind of similar to Build a Legend from last year. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what that all means here in just a little bit. What's the something borrowed and something blue? I almost said that next line right there. I just forgot it, you know. But we might have something borrowed, and maybe there will be something blue in these Build a Lineup cards tonight. See, I'm already thinking Build a Legend. It's not Build a Legend. It is Build a Lineup. Oh man. But yeah, I mean the shirt's blue. Shirt's blue. So that's pretty close. Huh? But yeah, we might have something blue in here. We'll see. All right, so let's get things started. This could be an exciting night. I love this program with this because I love how it's set up. You'll see why in just a little bit. But first things first, we're going to take a look at the limited edition card that we released today. It is Tampa Bay Rays Peak David Price. Look at this guy right here. The 100 copy LE that we dropped earlier today. Oh, baby. This guy is good. This guy's good right here. 90 stuff, 89 movement, 93 control. The elbow placement may or may not be unfortunate, as one of our guys says in chat. But man, this guy was one heck of a pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays back in the day. And I can't believe I'm saying back in the day when it comes to David Price, because it feels like yesterday that he first broke in with the Tampa Bay Rays in that 2008 postseason. Now that may or may not be because, you know, I've played MLB Power Pros 2008 for so long, but still, I am in denial that 2008 was 14 years ago. Dang it! Anyway, from 2008 to 2014 with Tampa Bay, he compiled an 82-47 record with a 3.18 ERA, 4 All-Star games, and 1 Cy Young Award-winning season. This guy, oh man. And look at the splits on him. Look at the splits. Very good against lefties. 97 stuff, 92 movement, 95 control. Honestly, I feel like this is one of the best pitching cards that we have released so far in this cycle. In terms of just the balance between stuff, movement, and control, this guy is up there in terms of the best card, one of the best pitching cards that we have so far in this game. It feels like yesterday the Tigers blew a bunch of prospects to get him for 2 months. It was 2 months and then another year. Or at least until the trading deadline when they got Daniel Norris from Toronto. Anyway. But still, he's also pretty good against righties here. 88 stuff, 88 movement, and 93 control. Has a fastball, has a sinker, has a slider. 87 stamina. You can take you a little bit deep into games. 72 on the hold runners. David Price is in Perfect Team, and there are 100 of these cards in packs. How deep into a game? As deep as he can go. As deep as he can go. All right. How many have been pulled? I don't know how many have been pulled so far in the last 7 hours. So, I don't have those numbers, unfortunately. But yeah. But it's going to be a good card for those that do pull him out of the pack. Is there a non-LE version of this card? I don't know. Of this particular card, no. Will there be David Price cards down the line? I really don't know. So we'll have to see what comes down the line. Yeah, he is a Dodger right now. We do have a live David Price card, but he's technically a reliever. So, but not like the quality of this guy right here. All right. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of tonight. We are going to talk about the Build a Lineup program. Ooh, IROC pulled a David Price earlier. Nice. I have a feeling it was the live card, though. Knew it. All right, let's talk about what Build a Lineup is, because this is kind of a holdover from Perfect Team 22. So let's talk about Build a Lineup. It is very similar to the Build a Legend collection missions from Perfect Team 22. Basically, what's going to happen is it will start with the bronze cards, which are going to be in packs. That is the only place other than the card shop where you can get the bronze Build a Lineup cards. Primarily, they will come out of packs. And they can be upgraded throughout the year via collection missions for the silver version, the gold version, diamond version, perfect version, etc., etc., etc. Now, you'll need to unlock the bronze version of the card, pulling them out of the pack or buying one off the auction house or a card shop, and complete the silver unlock mission to unlock the silver version of the card. And there will be a mission along with that where you have to collect certain cards in the collection. Then you complete that, and then you unlock the silver card. The silver mission will need to be locked and used alongside the gold unlock mission to unlock the gold version, so on and so forth. And by doing the missions released over the next few months, you will get the perfect version of the card. And if you collect all the perfect versions of each Build a Lineup card, you will get a topper card, which will be revealed at a later date. That is going to be exciting. So let's take a look and see what we have in store tonight. These players. We will have 8 position players and 4 pitchers that we will be revealing tonight. There is no DH, Torgonius. There is no DH. So let's see. Where do we want to start tonight? Will the missions be using mission value or just total number of cards? I think it might vary. I'm pretty sure it's going to vary a little bit, but we'll have to see what happens when it comes out later tonight at 10 o'clock is when the missions are going to drop. So here we go. We're going to start off with the catcher position. And this guy is probably one of the more recognizable catchers of the 21st century, especially if you lived in the upper Midwest. And that, my friends, is Joe Maurer from the Minnesota Twins. Let's start with the bronze version of Joe Maurer right here. This guy is a solid hitter. Now, this is a late career Joe Maurer when he transitioned over to first base from being a catcher and destroying his legs for all those years. So ultimately, what you're going to get with the build-a lineup is the catcher Joe Maurer. So it might say first base on the bronze card, but this is kind of going through, I guess, periods of his career, so to say. So the bronze card is from his 2017 season over at first base. So he has 78 BABIP, 30 power, 79 avoid Ks to create 79 contact, 66 gap power, and 60 on the eye. Very much better against righties than he is against lefties. However, he is a very serviceable card against lefties as well. Only losing maybe a point in BABIP, a point in power, only a few points in contact, a point in gap power. Definitely losing a little bit in eye, though, against lefties. But still, this is not a bad first base card for the bronze level. And in terms of his defense, it is actually not bad. 89 position rating over at first base. He has 37 range, 89 errors, so he's not going to make a whole lot of errors over at first base. 33 arm and 37 turn double play. And this was a very good year for Joe Maurer, actually, in 2017. Hit over 300, 384 on base. He hit 7 homers, 71 RBI. He almost got 4 wins above replacement in this season. And what I found interesting about Joe Maurer is his 2017 season was the lone positive D-WAR season when he was a primary first baseman in his career. That I found very interesting while looking up the stats. So that is Joe Maurer from the 2017 Minnesota Twins, the bronze version of Joe Maurer. And let's move to his upgraded version, his 2010 season 75 overall silver card as a catcher. This guy was even better in 2010. Has 78 BABIP, 34 power, 84 avoid K with 81 contact, 83 gap power, and 53 on the eye. Whoo! This guy's another solid hitter for the silver ranks. Again, you're getting a little bit splitty against righties, but I think it's a little bit of a bigger split than it was for the bronze card. So definitely a little bit more splitty, but better hitting stats against righties. I mean, you're getting 89 avoid K against righties, 85 contact, 87 gap power, still getting pretty high BABIP, 79 against righties. So this is not a bad card right here. Plus, he's not really a terrible defender at catcher either. 63 catcher ability and 60 catcher arm, plus he is qualified to learn first base if you would like him to. Could be a DHV right in tourneys. Yeah, I could kind of see that a little bit, Tim. Most definitely. But yeah, still not a bad card right here. Joe Maurer from the 2010 Minnesota Twins. He got an All-Star Game appearance, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, finished 8th in AL MVP, hit 327, 402, 469, 9 homers and 75 RBI, almost amassed 6 wins above replacement. Some really good stuff right there. So that, my friends, is Joe Maurer, the catcher of our Build a Lineup program. I have a feeling he's going to turn into something very, very good down the line. All right, let's move over to first base. First base. And we have a guy who I am just jealous of a little bit, because this guy has a literal body of water that is named after him. I want a body of water that's named after me. That's pretty dang cool. And that, my friends, is Willie Mccovey from the San Francisco Giants. Willie Mccovey, we start with his rookie year of 1959. This guy, if you want some power in those bronze tournaments, here you go. 70 BABIP, 70 power, 43 on the avoid K, 69 contact, 59 gap power, 53 I, and some serviceable defense over at first base as well. Left-handed first baseman right here. Very good against righties. 70 BABIP, 72 power against righties. 71 contact against righties. 62 gap power against righties. 56 I against right-handed pitching. This guy is really, really good. And in kind of a small sample size, he was really good back in the 1959 season. In only 52 games. 52 games, guys. 52 games, he hit .354 with a .429 on base, .656 slugging, 13 home runs, 38 RBI, and 3 wins above replacement. This guy was an absolute beast, and in just those 52 games, won NL Rookie of the Year award. And even got a singular vote. One single vote for MVP. Absolutely insane season from Willie Mccovey, and that season is immortalized in his bronze build a lineup card. Pretty good stuff right here. All right, let's keep it going with Willie Mccovey's silver card. We go a few seasons into the future for his 1963 season. And if you liked the power on the bronze card, you will love the power on this silver card right here. 62 BABIP, 93 power, 43 avoid K for 73 contact, 52 gap power, 52 I. Oh boy, this is a platoon bat right here if you want power against righties right here. Because look at the power against righties. 98 compared to just 78 against left-handed pitching. Whoo-wee! Whoo-wee! This guy, he can slug some dingers. And he really slugged some dingers back in 1963. This was when he really, really broke out as a player. 280 average, 350 on base, 566 slugging, hit 44 homers, tied for first in the National League with some guy named Hank Aaron. Whoever heard of Hank Aaron? I don't know. But man, when you can tie for first in homers with Hank Aaron, that is something else. And this was his first All-Star Game season. So he did well enough to earn an All-Star Game nod. That is awesome. 102 RBI that year. And in terms of his defense, he is listed as a left fielder. He can play first base, has a better position rating over there at first base. And honestly, thank goodness he can only play in the outfield and left, because I probably wouldn't want to put him in right because of the range on there, but still pretty decent for left field. 51 range, 44 error, 54 arm. Pretty much a DH type. If you have to play him in left field, you know what? He can do all right out there. But you also don't want him stealing bases, because that speed, 9 speed, 11 stealing, and 5 base running. That is yikes. Yeah, and he can't bunt. I wouldn't want him bunting either when he can just hit the ball over the fence. That's why I like better. So that is Willie Mccovey And that is the first baseman of our Build a Lineup program. All right, let's move on to second base. Second base. And who could we have for second base? Well, if you watched any Sunday night baseball on ESPN back in the early 2000s, you will know who this guy is. And my friends, it is Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan is our second baseman in the Build a Lineup program. Look at this guy right here. This is a bat right here. 69 BABIP, 31 power, 83 on the avoid K, 73 contact, 80 gap power, and 73 I. This is young Joe Morgan right here. This is like his, I want to say his third season in the major leagues. I did not know, to be quite honest with you, I did not know that Joe Morgan was a Houston Astro at one point or another. I did not know that until I looked this guy up. And he was pretty doggone good in 1967. 275, 378, 411 on the slash line in 1967. Somehow got 5 wins above replacement. And he was the third highest WAR among the 1967 Astros behind Jim Wynn and a young Rusty Staub. Another fun fact, I did not know Rusty Staub was a Houston Astro at one point or another. Now, this was before he became a folk hero with the Montreal Expos, but we're not talking Rusty Staub here. We're talking Joe Morgan. And apparently he had 2 stints with the Astros as well. Now, this guy, not really the best defender over at second base, not going to lie to you, but it's still a little bit serviceable. 64 range, 68 error, 40 arm, and 65 turn double play. Definitely an option you can use in bronze tournaments, potentially. But the stealing and speed are what the calling card on this can be. 75 speed, 97 stealing, 97 base running. Some really good stuff right there. Oh, boy. And it's one of those like classic kind of Perfect Team 22 kind of profiles with the low power, high avoid K, good contact, good eye as well. Definitely a lot better against righties than he is against lefties as well. Getting some gulfs here between versus left and versus right, but still, this is not a bad card. Not a bad card whatsoever. So that is Joe Morgan's bronze card. Let's move on to his silver card, and we're going to jump way ahead in his career for this silver card. We go to 1982. To 1982 when he was with the San Francisco Giants. Late career Joe Morgan. This was an even better hitting season, I do believe. 134 games, he had 289 with a 400 on base and 438 slugging this year with 14 homers, 61 RBI, even had 24 stolen bases on it. A very balanced silver card right here. 64 BABIP, 65 power, 59 avoid K, 71 contact, 61 gap power, 78 I. But kind of even on the splits here, if you look very closely. 63 versus 65 BABIP, 64 versus 65 power, 58 versus 59 avoid K, 69 versus 71 contact, 59 versus 61 gap power, 76 versus 78 I. A very balanced card for Joe Morgan right here. Doesn't have really a platoon advantage anywhere, really. So you can play him both ways if you do have this card, and you can play him at second base. Defense, still not the greatest, unfortunately. 57 range, 82 error, 38 arm, 59 double play. But he can be serviceable if you are in a pinch. 58 speeds, 86 stealing, 57 base running as well. This is not a bad card right here. Very balanced, in terms of statistics, very balanced in terms of splits. This is pretty good, if you ask me. This was a Silver Slugger year at second base in 1982, and he also finished 16th in MVP votes. You got a few cards right there. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so that is Joe Morgan as our second baseman to build a lineup collection. I have a feeling that Joe Morgan's going to be pretty good. He has had solid cards in the past. I am anticipating some solid cards down the line for Joe Morgan. Now, let's go over to one of the most important positions on the infield, shortstop. And oh boy, shortstop is probably a guy that you're all familiar with. Ladies and gentlemen, we give to you the shortstop of our Build a Legend collection. It is Cal Ripken Jr. Cal Ripken Jr. from the Baltimore Orioles is our shortstop in the Build a Lineup collection. Oh boy. This guy is good. 51 BABIP, 64 power, 79 avoid K, 66 contact, 55 gap power, 39 I. Now, he is a third baseman by trade, but he is qualified to learn shortstop as well for league play. But look at the V left splits right here. This is what you want to pay attention to. 53 BABIP, 65 power, 93 avoid K, 93 avoid K against lefties. This guy ain't striking out against lefties. 72 contact, 62 gap power, 43 I. Whoo, baby. Whoo. 62 range, 63 error, 77 arm, and 53 turn double play over at third base. Pretty good right here. Now, this is kind of late career Cal, as you know. He did retire in 2001, so this is kind of late career, but he still wasn't terrible in 2000 in his age 39 season. 83 games, 256, 310, 453 on the slash line, 15 homers, and 56 RBIs. And this year, he was elected to his 18th straight All-Star game. That is pretty good. He also, yeah, and Cal, as y'all know, was the guy who played a lot of games in a row as well. So that's an accomplishment in and of itself. Against righties, it's a little bit more meh. 50 BABIP, 64 power, 75 avoid K, 64 contact, 53 gap, and 37 I. But very much a platoon option for those of you who do platoons and probably bronze tourneys or something like that. Very good option via left. Can't bunt though, which is unfortunate, but oh well. So there you have it, Cal Ripken Jr., the bronze version. Let's go to his silver version. We go back a few years to 1999, and oh my God. Whew. Whew. This silver card right here is pretty dang good. 76 BABIP, 72 power. Look at the blue in avoid K, contact, gap power. 92 avoid K, 94 contact, 92 gap power. His eye is bad, but who cares? 76 BABIP against lefties, 74 power against lefties, 102 avoid K against lefties, 99 contact against lefties, 94 gap power against lefties. Wow. And honestly, this bat's going to play. This bat is going to play over at third base. Now, I know it's another third base card, but eventually you are going to get the shortstop versions of Cal Ripken down the line. So please be patient. We will have the shortstop versions of Cal Ripken Jr. He's going to end up a shortstop, all right? Still the slowest human alive. but a little bit better of a defender at third base as well. 60 range, 71 error, 71 arm, and a 58 turn double play. Once again, qualified to learn shortstop as well. But this guy, he can also kind of play against righties as well. 76 BABIP, 71 power, 89 avoid K, 93 contact, 91 gap power, 24 I. And the I is bad because, let's face it, Cal Ripken's walk rate in 1999 was not good. Walked only 13 times in 1999. It's not great. It's not great. Not even close. But he still hit 340, still had 18 homers, still had 57 RBI as well. But still, this is pretty good. Probably one of the better hitters we have so far with Build a Lineup. I can't wait to show you the rest of them. So there you have it. Cal Ripken Jr. is going to be your shortstop for the Build a Lineup collection. And let's move on to the hot corner. Yes, we are going over to third base now. And we have a very popular third baseman from previous Perfect Team versions as our third baseman tonight. How hot is that corner? Oh, it is hot. It is hot, hot, hot over at third base. We have Wade Boggs as our third baseman in the Build a Lineup collection. 67 BABIP, 37 power on the bronze card, 85 avoid K, 73 contact, 60 power, 51 I from his 1998 season with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Wow. Okay, fun fact. I did not know Wade Boggs played with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays until I played, let me grab the cartridge actually, because I have it right here. Until I played Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. for the N64. Because apparently that was based on like the 1998 season or something, and it had Wade Boggs on the Devil Rays, and I was like, what? He was on the Devil Rays? What? Yeah, and Mr. Audit is right. He did get his 3,000th hit with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah, and there was a thing where there was maybe going to be a contract clause where he had to go into the Hall of Fame as a Devil Ray, which is like weird. Yeah, and that was the Rays' first or second year, I would think. But still pretty good for a bronze card right here. Very good against righties. 67 BABIP, 38 power, 88 on the avoid K, 74 contact, 63 gap power, 53 I against righties. Decent defender over at third base as well. 58 range, 69 error, 72 arm, and 55 on the turn double play. Decent defender over at third. Won't kill you too often, but still not terrible at all. 60 overall card will probably help you out in probably one of those bronze bronze floor tournaments that are out there. So pretty good stuff right there for Wade Boggs. And yes, Build a Boggs is finally a thing again. Oh man, let's move on from this bronze Wade Boggs and let's go over to the Bronx for his silver card from the 1994 New York Yankees. A little bit of a better batter on this one. 76 BABIP, 48 power, 93 avoid K for 85 contact, 59 gap power, 70 I. And this has some solid splits right here. Not too much of a gulf between the abilities. 74 versus 76 BABIP, 42 versus 50 power, 93 avoid K on both sides, 82 versus 86 contact. Little bit of a gulf with gap power there, but very solid as well. A very not so splitty card with this silver. Pretty decent defender over at third base as well. 60 range, 80 error, 75 arm, and 54 on the turn. Double play. A low silver card right here. Pretty good, if you ask me. Only played 97 games in 1994. The strike shortened 1994. Hit 342, 433, 489 with 11 homers and 55 RBI. Had an all-star appearance, gold glove, silver slugger, finished 13th in the MVP vote. He was heading toward a pretty good season in 1994. Yeah, I'll take those stats for a 71 too. Straight up. But don't have him run the bases. Speed. Not good. Not good at all. So our infield is now complete. For the players of Build a Lineup, we have Joe Maurer at catcher, Willie Mccovey at first, Joe Morgan at second, Cal Ripken Jr. at short, Wade Boggs at third. Let's go to the outfield. And we start with left field. And this guy in left field, he kind of played, technically, for a long time in left field. So much so that he had a couple of games, gimmick or not, at age 54. 54. That's crazy. That is crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, that person is Minnie Minoso, our left fielder in the Build a Lineup collection. And look at how spicy this bronze card is. Ooh. 61 BABIP, 57 power, 86 avoid K, 73 contact, 66 gap power, 61 eye. This is a fun bronze card right here, folks. This is a fun bronze card right here. Very balanced, a lot of green on the batting. Ooh. Ooh. Plus, the splits aren't that bad. 62 BABIP against lefties versus 61. Very even on power, pretty much even on avoid, pretty much even down the line. You're not going to get a split advantage with this card. You can play him against both hands. Plus, he's a pretty decent defender over there in left field as well. 63 range, 57 error, and 59 arm. This one was based on his 1961 season, where he had 152 games, hit 280 with 14 homers, 82 RBI. And the fun fact I could find about this card was that he led MLB that year with 16 times he was hit by a pitch. He also had 12 sac flies as well. So he kind of gave himself up for the team in a couple of ways that year. So that's pretty good right there. All these third basemen, but no Mike Lowell. Sorry. Minnie Minoso also qualified to learn center field, but probably more of a left fielder, if you ask me. Also, he can actually run a little bit, unlike the other guys that we've seen earlier tonight. 44 speed, 71 stealing, and 60 base running as well. Only 16 hit by pitches. All the Mets already passed that this year. Oh, yes they have. Yes, they have. Oh, man. Does training work in tournaments? Unfortunately, no. It does not, which bums me out. All right, let's move on to the silver version of Minnie Minoso, and I have a feeling this is going to be pretty good. It's not bad. Bit more of a splittier card with this card right here from the 1958 season when he played for Cleveland. 149 games, 302, 383, 484 on the slash line. A bit more power this season from Minnie Minoso with 24 bombs, 80 RBI, and his 24 homers that year were a career high. Finished 18th in MVP voting that year. Has 64 BABIP, 64 power, 80 avoid K, 77 contact, 54 gap power, and 58 eye. 67 versus lefties on the BABIP, 63 power, 69 avoid K, 75 contact, 54 gap, and 59 eye. Not a terrible left field card right here. He can also run a little bit better than the bronze card. 70 speed, 67 stealing, and 62 base running right here. Defense just a little bit worse in left field. 53 range, 52 error, and 75 arm in left field. So there is Minnie Minoso, our left fielder for the Build a Lineup collection. Pretty solid cards, if you ask me. All right, let's move on to center field. And when I saw what the center fielder for this collection is, I almost asked the team just one simple question. Why? Why? It is Richie Ashburn. It is Richie Ashburn. The powers that be are trolling your guy right here. Okay, so if you don't know the story, back in Perfect Team 21, there was a Richie Ashburn that dropped as a really good card. Or at least it seemed to be a good card. Everybody was having success with this card. Your boy did not have success with that card. And so it became a little bit of a meme in the community that I don't like Richie Ashburn. And the powers that be said, let's play with dishnet a little bit and have him as part of the Build a Lineup collection. But this is a solid bronze card right here. 78 BABIP, 5 power, 86 avoid case, 77 contact, 40 gap power, 84 eye. This guy can seemingly hit the baseball. Does that E profile shape work in bronze? It probably does, in my personal opinion. But man, you're not gonna get home runs from him. I mean, you might, given the run environment, but maybe. A little bit better against righties in terms of his hitting stats. 79 BABIP, 5 power, 89 avoid K, 78 contact, 42 gap power, and 88 eye. But this is not a bad card at all. Left field, center field, he can play both. He can train up a little bit more in left field. With the range of 74, the error of 73, and the 55 of outfield arm, might be a better fit for left field than center field down the line with this particular card, this particular bronze card, but still it's not bad at all. Very good contact hitter. He will get on base. What's more to ask for from a bronze card? Pretty good stuff right there. In terms of speed, he can run a little bit. 63 speed, 76 stealing, 70 base running. Something I found fascinating about Richie Ashburn. This is a 1960 season when he played for the Chicago Cubs. I believe this is the first year of a 2-year contract, or at least a 2-year stint he had with the Cubs. 151 games, had a .415 on base percentage, 338 slugging, 40 RBI, 116 walks, second highest walk rate of his career. Let's keep going with his silver card, and the silver card looks pretty good as well. This is from his 1962 season, his final season in the major leagues. 306, 424, 393 on the slash line this year. He has 78 BABIP, 27 power, 80 avoid K, 78 contact, 33 gap, and 83 eye as well. Can play all 3 outfield positions very effectively, and a little bit of a better defender out there in center field. 84 range, 75 error, 62 arm as well. Bit of a better base runner as well. 68 speed, 84 stealing, and 71 base running. Both cards can lead off. They can get on base. Very much an ideal leadoff guy for your Build a Lineup collection. Oh, baby. Some good stuff right there with Richie Ashburn, the center fielder, for our Build a Lineup collection. Let's move on to right field. Right field. And we have a guy that I think our previous host of This Week in Perfect Team will enjoy very, very much. And that is Larry Walker. Larry Walker from the 1993 Montreal Expos. 62 overall card for his bronze. Has 52 BABIP, 66 power, 51 avoid K, 59 contact, 61 gap power, 60 I. Not a spectacular batter. A little bit more of a split toward right-handed pitching. Outfield defense, pretty decent. 68 range, 60 errors, 71 arm. This is, I believe, kind of a younger Larry Walker, if I'm not mistaken. This was his age 26 season, so kind of an early career Larry Walker right here. Hit 265 that year. It wasn't his best hitting season. Was not his best hitting season, but he was still pretty good. 4.4 WAR was second on the 1993 Expos to Marquise Grissom. So that Larry Walker card, pretty good. He can also run a little bit. 73 speed, 83 stealing, and 81 on the base running. Of course, he wasn't in Colorado yet. That is true. And he won't be in Colorado for his silver card. 73 overall Larry Walker, the 2004 St. Louis Cardinals. Post-Colorado, his next to last year in the major leagues. Still had a 120 OPS plus this year. 44 games with the St. Louis Cardinals. He was traded from Colorado for some players to be named later, and some dude named Jason Birch, who never even made the big leagues. Whoever the heck that was. One of those players to be named later, future Milwaukee Brewers great Chris Narveson. Fun fact right there. 65 BABIP, 73 power, 50 avoid K, 72 contact, 72 gap power, and 73 I on the batting stats. Can play a little bit of right field, maybe not effectively, but still 53 range, 64 error, 64 outfield arm. Not terrible. Definitely a little bit of a DH card, but he can really hit righties pretty well. 66 BABIP, 77 power, 51 avoid K, 74 contact, 73 gap power, and 77 I against right-handed pitching. Alrighty. In terms of speed, 32 speed, 87 stealing, and 57 base running as well. Alright, let's move on. There's our fielders. Maurer, Mccovey, Morgan, Ripken, Boggs, Minoso, Ashburn, and Larry Walker. Let's go to the pitcher's mound for our first pitcher in the Build a Lineup collection. And you remember something blue from earlier in this stream? Because we have Vida Blue! Vida Blue is our first starting pitcher in the Build a Lineup collection. This guy, not bad for a bronze right here. 76 stuff, 46 movement, 58 control. A bit of reverse splits with Vida Blue right here. 77 stuff against righties, 46 movement against righties, 58 control against righties, as well as a fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. A pretty good year for Vida Blue. In 1975, went 22-11 with a 3.01 ERA, 6 Ks per 9, 3.2 walks per 9, finished 6th in the AL Cy Young Award voting. Yeah, unfortunately, Vida Blue did not play third base. Nope, he did not. He did not. But still a fairly solid bronze pitcher right here. Let's move on to his silver card from when he went across the bay to the San Francisco Giants, 76 overall, Vita Blue. From the 1978 Giants, 71 stuff, 69 movement, 67 control, 75 fastball, 78 curveball, 46 slider, and a 42 changeup. Again, some reverse splits on Vita Blue right here. 72 stuff against righties as a left-handed pitcher, 70 movement, and 67 control. A very solid silver card right here. Pretty good stuff right here. Plus 68 eye as a hitter, in case you wanted to use him as a hitter. Stamina, really good as well. 100 stamina as well. 79 hold runners. This is the year he finished third in AL Cy Young Award voting with an 18-10 record and a 2.79 on the ERA. So there's Vita Blue, our first starting pitcher of the Build a Lineup collection. Let's move over to the next pitcher, and it's going to be another starting pitcher. And it was one, and this is one that was a sneaky fun card that I loved to run back in the last version. And it is Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown is our last starting pitcher Build a Lineup card. So we're going to have two relievers that we're going to be showing off here a little bit. This is New York Yankees Kevin Brown from the final season of his career. I really can't find a whole lot of positive to say about his 2005 season. He was apparently injured a little bit as well. Finished with a 4-7 record in 13 games, 6.50 ERA. Yikes. 1.718 WHIP. 2005 was his final year in MLB. He has 54 stuff, 75 movements, 67 control. So the movement and control still not bad for the bronze card right here. Better against righties than he is against lefties. Has a fastball, sinker, curveball, slider, changeup, and splitter. I don't know why this is shown twice, but here we are. 76 stamina and 29 avoid runners. Wow, what am I saying? 29 hold runners. But Kevin Brown, not terrible, but I think we can do better. I think we can do better with the silver card. We sure can! From the 1992 Texas Rangers, we have a 75 overall, Kevin Brown. 65 stuff, 88 movement, 67 control. Ooh, baby. We got some movement on this guy right here. 21-11 with a 3.32 ERA, 2.99 FIP on the year, 5.9 Ks per 9, 2.6 walks per 9, and those 21 wins led all of MLB that year. All-Star game, 6th in AL Cy Young Award winner. By the way, guys, extreme ground ball pitcher, Kevin Brown. Fastball, sinker, curveball, slider, changeup, and splitter once again on the repertoire. Again, some good stuff against righties here as well. 91 movement against righties compared to 84 movement against lefties. 67 stuff against righties and 68 control against righties as well. Pretty good stuff from Kevin Brown here. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of movement coming up on these Kevin Brown cards in the future. Alrighty, let's move on. Let's keep going because cards are dropping soon. Missions are dropping soon. Let's go to our first reliever. Our first reliever, and we're going to go toward a little bit of modern times for this reliever. In fact, those on the East Coast might know him very well. It is Jonathan Peppelbon. Jonathan Peppelbon, and we start the bronze level with his 2016 Washington Nationals season. And all the jeers come out in chat. This was, let's call it certainly a season for Jonathan Peppelbon. 37 games, 35 innings pitched. He had 19 saves, 4.37 on the ERA, 8 Ks per 9, 3.6 walks per 9, 4.37 ERA was a career high for him. It was just not that great of a season for him. But he did have the third lowest ground ball rate of his career, which doesn't say much when he's an extreme fly ball pitcher. 63 stuff, 50 movement, and 50 control on this card. A little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. Righties have a 65 stuff, 52 movement, and 51 control as well. But I have a feeling this guy's going to have a very high ceiling as well. I totally agree with you. Everyone recalls the look on his face after winning the 07 World Series. Oh man, that's one of the only things I remember about the 2007 World Series. Has a fastball, has a slider, has a splitter, for whatever it's worth. Stamina, 17. Hold runners, not good. Let's move on to his silver card, which should be a little bit better, right? Oh, yes it is! Jonathan Peppelbon from the 2014 Philadelphia Phillies. 59 stuff, 96 movement, and 65 control. The movement on this guy just went way up. 100 movement against righties, 61 stuff against righties, 66 control against righties. Another fastball, slider, splitter combo right here. He was pretty good in 2014. In fact, I believe he's still third on the all-time saves list in Philadelphia Phillies history. Had a 2.04 ERA in 2014, 39 saves, 8.5 Ks per 9, and a little bit of a fun fact, he was one of 4 pitchers who combined to no-hit the Atlanta Braves on September 1st, 2014. Pretty good stuff right there. A fly ball pitcher with big movement, so he might be able to keep the ball in the ballpark as well. So pretty good stuff right there. Jonathan Peppelbon, our first reliever for the Build a Lineup collection. Let's go to our final card of the night, our final player of the night. And you know, we've had a righty starter and a lefty starter. We have a righty reliever, and now we're going to have a lefty reliever. And how many lefty relievers can you think of that were pretty good back in the day? I think we need to go back to the 1970s, or at least the late 60s, and then some 70s. And that, my friends, is Tug Mcgraw. Tug Mcgraw, and we start out with his 1969 Miracle Mets card. Oh baby, this is a high stuff, medium movement, low control card if I ever saw one. 78 stuff, 61 movement, 49 control. This was before Tug Mcgraw became Tug Mcgraw. Had 42 games with the 1969 Mets, 9-3 record, 100 innings pitched, had 12 saves, and a 2.24 ERA. Won the World Series in 1969 with the Mets, but unfortunately did not pitch in the series. Interesting stuff right here. Very good against lefties, as you would expect from a left-handed pitcher. 84 stuff, 66 movement, 51 control against lefty batters. Has a fastball, curveball, slider, and a screwball. A screwball as well. That is something else right here. 24 stamina, 50 on the hold runners as well. Can throw 95 to 97, and a fly ball pitcher. All right. So if you thought that the bronze was at least a little decent, let's show off the silver. Oh my God, the silver card. We've had some good movement on these cards tonight, and this is no exception. 74 stuff, 96 movement, 61 control on this 79 overall silver card. 80 stuff against lefties, 103 movement against lefties, and 63 control against lefties as well. Big, big movement on this card right here from his 1972 season. He was absolutely outstanding in 1972. 8-6 record, a 1.70 ERA, 106 innings pitched, had 27 saves. First of his 2 career All-Star Game appearances was this year in 1972, and he received votes for MVP as well. Pretty good stuff right there for Tug Mcgraw. Fastball, curveball, slider, and screwball once again on the repertoire. But man, so there you have it. There are the players of Build a Lineup. Happy collecting, everybody. What a collection we have tonight of some very, very fun cards right here. We have Cal Ripken Jr. at short, Joe Maurer at catcher, Joe Morgan at second, Jonathan Peppelbon as a reliever, Kevin Brown as a starter, Larry Walker in right field, Minnie Minoso in left, Richie Ashburn in center, Tug Mcgraw as a left-handed reliever, Vida Blue as a right-handed starter, Wade Boggs at third, Willie Mccovey at first, and David Price that we released earlier today. Whoo, baby. What a collection we have. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Happy pack ripping. The bronze cards will be in packs shortly. The mission should be live hopefully soon after. I look forward to pulling some packs along with y'all, trying to get these Build a Lineup cards onto my collection. This is going to be pretty good. And I can't wait to show off the gold cards, the diamond cards, and the perfect cards sometime down the line. And there will be packs. There will be packs attached to the Build a Lineup collection missions as a reward. So there you go. All right, guys, that is going to do it for tonight's episode of This Week in Perfect Team. Have a great night, everybody. Happy pack ripping. I will see you next week for some more This Week in Perfect Team. And I will see you tomorrow at around 8:15 Eastern for the first episode of the Perfect Team Friday Showdown. Yes, the tournament streams are back, and they start tomorrow night. Take care, everybody. dishnet 34, signing out.